Hey guys, welcome back. This is a fun networking scenario here, and it's also a difficult one for a student to navigate. So here it is. You're talking to a pharmacist with a group of 3 to 4 students. Every time you try to say something or anything, you get cut off by another student. How do you establish a presence in the conversation? Yes, this is one of those difficult situations, and it may happen to you or someone you know. What I would say, it depends on the situation, how you get cut off. So if you start to ask a question and then a student just jumped in, if it's the first time, you just kind of let that student jump in and finish out that whatever question they had. But if they asked a question but it wasn't what you intended, let the pharmacist respond to whatever that they're saying and said, thank you for that question, but what I want to ask specifically is, and state your question. So that kind of provides that you give that other person the courtesy to kind of finish out their questions and the pharmacist time to respond to them, but then you interject yourself very politely and say, that's a very good question, but what I want to also know is blank, and then ask your question there. So that's if you're asking a question. If you're making a statement or responding to a pharmacist, but then another student jumped in while you're talking, again, if it's the first time, just kind of let that student finish his or her thoughts, because maybe that person just very forward and they may forget their thoughts. So just finish that thought process, and then if that person, whoever the student, finishes the thought process and it wasn't what you were gonna say, then you would say, in addition to what XYZ, if you know the person's name, or in addition to that comment, I would have done it this way, or I would have, fill in the blank, whatever comments that you're about to have. So it makes it where, and the pharmacist can probably navigate that too when they start seeing students are interjecting without being courteous. They can actually be the facilitator, like, oh wait, let me, and as a pharmacist, I will also say, oh well, let this person finish first, and then you can add your 2 piece in. So you can be the negotiator or the facilitator if there are students who are very enthusiastic and energetic and kind of cutting each other off. Honestly, it doesn't happen as often, but it does happen, and you want it to kind of navigate it very gently, but you can do it very wisely as well by the tips that I was sharing with you. And as a pharmacist in this situation, you are empowered to mediate between these conversations and kind of adding your 2 cents in, and also just mediate the whole being cut off by another student. And what I will also do as a pharmacist in situation is that when you're in a group of students, there are some that are more vocal than others. So what I would try to do is like, he has a really good point, what do you think? And you would try to point to whoever wanna started like a conversation and finish out what his or her thoughts were. So again, you're directing attention to that individual. So it's a two-way street. There's ways to navigate it very politely without anyone's getting their feelings hurt. If you felt like, again, at the very end, as a student, you didn't get what you needed from that conversation in a group setting, just wait until the group dissolves and move out, and then you can kind of say, they had great questions, and I just had this one more advice or feedback or question that I have for you, and it's more of a private, can I talk to you really quickly for 5 minutes? And most of the time the pharmacists say, yeah, that's fine. If for some reason in a scenario they can't, they may offer you their business card, or you can be proactive and ask them for their business card and follow up, or connect them through LinkedIn, get their email somehow and connect with them. Word of caution, not everybody's active on LinkedIn. They might have a LinkedIn account, but they probably don't check it for months. So just really be sure that when you connect with them on LinkedIn, ask them what is the best way to communicate with you. And if they say email, then trying to get the email. They're like, oh yeah, message me on LinkedIn, then get their LinkedIn account. So it really depends. I hope you find this helpful. For those that are or that were or are encountering something like this, please post your comment and share with others. And I hope you find this helpful. Have a great one. Bye.